Hi everyone. Earlier today there was some breaking news that was announced on a Deadline site, and it was an article by Matthew Carey. And I took a while in deciding whether to put this video up because I do not like putting videos up about news that not yet official, that we don't know for sure. And I'm going to say, just as a disclaimer here, I'm not 100% sure about this being authentic, but it sure sounds like it is. And if it's not, it's not. And I apologize before the fact. Anyway, the article says that Paul McCartney is going to have a documentary, a film made of him. It says the name of the article, the first line says, Paul McCartney's decade-long creative surge post-Beatles, to be explored in the new, quote, Man on the Run, from Oscar winner Morgan Neville. And it says Man on the Run is just a working title. And I'll read some of it, the article here, which you could easily check out yourself from Deadline site. It says here, Paul McCartney's incredible creative output the decade after he left the Beatles will come into focus in Man on the Run, working title. A documentary to be directed by Oscar and Grammy winner Morgan Neville. MPL and Polygram Entertainment, the film and television unit of Universal Music Group, announced the project today, a day before the 65th annual Grammy Awards ceremony in Los Angeles. The feature film will explore Paul McCartney's extraordinary life following the breakup of the Beatles and how the love he shared with Linda McCartney influenced a journey that would lead to the formation of Wings and more of the greatest music ever created. Now, I've often thought myself that would be a great idea for a film, not so much a documentary, but a story, a film, a kind of a biopic, talking about that period of Paul's life, how he went from the Beatles breakup and being lost and depressed and not knowing what to do from here to actually reinvent himself and being in some ways just as big as the Beatles in some ways. But there's a lot of other stuff to say here, but it basically says Neville has been granted access to never-before-seen home movie and videos and photos from the archives of McCartney and his late wife, Linda. The archival material will be combined with fresh interviews, allowing for a first-of-its-kind exploration of a period in McCartney's life when he came out with a succession of hits, and they go on to include the hits from Maybe I'm Amazed to Uncle Albert, Live and Let Die, Band on the Run, etc., etc., Silly Love Songs, Good Night Tonight, among many others. And yeah, that's really the gist of it. And according to a release about the project, quote, Man on the Run begins with Paul McCartney navigating the aftermath of the breakup of the Beatles, facing down challenges while creating new music that would ultimately become the defining soundtrack of a new decade. The documentary chronicles the arc of Paul's peerless solo career, from the one-man band lo-fi recording prototype of his self-titled debut album, to the pastoral bliss of Ram, to the formation of Wings, and on and on and on, etc. The result is an intimate and personal behind-the-scenes account of how Paul progressed from the Beatles' 1966 retirement from live concerts to the Wings tours that would set the standard for the 1970s arena rock shows. Well, that's a lot of stuff I put in there, but I really hope this is going to happen. Don't blame me if it doesn't. I waited a while. It sounds really official. If it's not, I screwed up. Anyway, for now, just take it with a grain of salt. Thanks for watching.